Hello friends, welcome to Bicaps, and today I'm going to cover a very important and a very useful topic that is of use to all of you in some or the other manner. And it's a very hot topic because I have got multiple requests on my WhatsApp and on email to create video on this particular thing. And the topic is automatic creation and emailing of a document when a user fills up a Google form. So if you didn't get that, let me explain you very quickly. So let's say there's a workshop that we did and we want to issue the certificate of participation to all the participants, and we want that the participants should fill up a Google form and they should get the certificate automatically on their email ID. So we have created this template. So this is to certify that prefix. This is a placeholder. We call it a placeholder that is going to be get substituted by a value. So Mr. or Miss, name, let's say Angad Pal Singh, has participated in the Google spreadsheet workshop organized by Bicaps Business Solution on which date the participant has attended, and let's say the workshop happened at multiple places, so where did he or she attend, and wishing all the best for, we should call it, his or her future automation journey. So this is a template that we have created. So now what we want is that when a user fills up a Google form with all these aspects, we do not need to do anything. It should automatically get created and emailed to that user. So now let's first review the steps. The first step is we should have a template with placeholders. So we already have it. Then we need to create a Google form. So let's first create a Google form and then go ahead. So let's make it workshop certificate issuance. So the first question is going to be name of the participant. So it's going to be a normal short answer but a required one. Then gender, so male or female, but required again. So all the questions we are going to make it compulsory today. Date of the workshop. So let's say we did a workshop on 2 dates. So let's put 2 random dates over here, and the user will be able to select that which workshop did they attend. Place of workshop. So let's say it happened in Delhi, it happened in Chandigarh, and it happened in Mumbai. So the user will select. And last but not the least, we want the email ID of the user so that we can have the email ID where the document will be emailed automatically. So response validation, it's going to be a text which should be an email address. So this is a simple Google form that is created. So let's see how it looks like by clicking on view. So this is the Google form that we are going to share with the users so that they automatically, so they fill it up and automatically the certificate is created and emailed to them. So now let's come to the next step. We created the Google form, the link its responses with the spreadsheet. This is the third step. So this is the edit mode of the form. When I click on responses, so right now it's not been filled by anyone, so it shows 0 responses, and there's a spreadsheet icon over here. When I click it, it creates a spreadsheet in which all the responses will get stored as and when they are filled by multiple users. Those responses will be automatically stored over here. Let's come to the next step. Open the linked spreadsheet. We already did that. Open the script editor for the spreadsheet. Now this involves a little bit of coding, so that's why we need a script editor. So we click on tools and script editor. Now don't worry, you do not need to make the code. I've already done for you, and the link of the code file, this particular code file, is already shared in the description, so you can download it from there. So let's have the next step, put the code. So this is the code. You just need to copy and first let's delete this and paste over here. I'll quickly run through like what is in there, the code. Now it's the name of the program that is going to run. You can name it anything. I named it generate certificate because it gives a self-explanation of what this code is all about. You can say generate power of attorney, generate agreement, anything what we are going to do with it. Now there are 5 variables in the Google form: name, gender, date, place, email. So I have created all those variables, and since this code will be run when the Google form is submitted, so it takes the event as on form submit, and then on that event what was the first value, what was the second value, third value, fourth value, fifth value, all those get stored in these variables. We give 2 more variables, prefix and him or her. So let's call it his, her, because we corrected in the template as well. Now what we are going to do is variable template. Now here you have to put the ID of the template file. So this is our template file. You find the ID over here after the d slash. You don't have to select the slash. So this is ID till the next slash. So you just copy it and paste here where the variable template is declared. Now once the document is created by the program, it should get saved somewhere. So you can mention the folder ID over here. So let's say this is the folder in the Google Drive where we are going to save it. So this is the ID. Just copy and put it over here where the variable folder is declared. So now it will make a copy of this template.make copy, and name it certificate, name of the person, and place of the person. So place of the workshop. So this will be the name of the file, that new file that will be created. So this is going to stay like this. You do not need to know about it. So now we have put a if statement, just like we put in an Excel formula, that if gender is male, then prefix should be Mr. or Miss, and his, her should be his. And if the gender is not male, so that means it's a female, so prefix should be Miss, and his, her should be her. Now here in body.replace text, what we do is we put 2 parameters. First is the placeholder as it is mentioned in the template, just like it. So let's say you here wrote full name instead of name. So you also need to write full name. So you put the name of the placeholder and then comma name of the variable that is going to replace this placeholder. So variable is name, gender, date, place, email. So name. So gender is not going to come over here. We are not going to write male or female, but we are going to write Mr., Miss, or him or her, his or her, depending upon the gender selected. So all the placeholders over here and the corresponding variables here. Then you also want it to get mailed automatically, so you just write the message that you want the mail to contain. So I wrote it, dear name. So let's say Angad fills it. So dear Angad, please find attached your participation certificate. Mention the subject here, and here you do not need to do anything. So this is created. Let's save it and name it certificate generation. Let's quickly name it. Now let's come to the next step. So we have done it, putting the file ID, folder ID, and placeholder replacements. Now create on form submit trigger. So a trigger is to be created for this part, because we didn't mention that when this code should run. So it should run when the form is submitted. So let's click on edit, current projects triggers, add trigger, choose which function to run. So let's say you have multiple functions, so you need to choose the function. Click on form submit, select event type, save. So it will ask for permission. Just go ahead and give the permissions, because you need not worry, it's not a third-party code. It's a code that is created by you only. So you can simply give the permissions. Okay, so now the trigger seems to be created. Now the last step is try by filling out the Google form. So that means we are all done. So we are now going to try whether it works or not. Okay, so let's come back to a Google form, click on view, preview. So this is the form the user will see. So let's say I am the user and now I am filling it up for me. Okay, and I put my email ID over here. And now fingers crossed, let's click on submit and hope that the code should have run. See, a new file is created, certificate Angat Pal Singh, Mumbai. Now let's open it and see whether it's correctly created. Yes, this is to certify that Mr. Angat Pal Singh had participated in the Google Form spreadsheet workshop organized by Bicaps Business Solutions on 29th July. Okay, so this didn't work. We need to check what went wrong in our code. Okay, so the placeholder was his or her only, but we had renamed the variable, so this didn't get replaced. But anyway, we understood what the problem was. Now we need to check whether it was emailed to the email ID. So let's say I have opened my email ID. Yes, so it's like 4:49. So on 4:48 I have received this email. So dear Angat Pal Singh, please find attached your participation certificate. So here it is. So hope you find it simple and you will use it for various purposes and automate the tasks. You can do it for many things. So let's say as chartered accountants, you are asking for data from your client for applying their GST number. So the client sends you the data in the email ID, and then your staff or you create certain forms or certain documents like authority letter and NOC based on that particular data. So what you can do is you can create a Google form and ask your client to fill that Google form instead of writing the data in the email. So the first benefit would be all the data will be properly stored in the spreadsheet. So you need not go to email every now and then. And second thing is you can use this particular code. The link is shared in the description, and I am also sharing the link of this particular Google form so that you can actually try yourself by filling it and checking your email that whether you receive this certificate or not. So you can create the Google form. The client is going to fill it up and he is going to get the email there and then that what are the documents required, and the automatically created documents are going to be attached to it. So there are multiple uses you can apply this particular application to. So this was all about automatic creation and emailing of a document based on the Google form that is submitted by a user. So if you have any queries regarding to this, please comment in the comment section. So I'll try my level best to respond to all the queries, and all the best for your future automation journey. We'll keep posting videos, keep supporting us. If you like the content, do share, because when the content gets shared and we get the responses on our videos, then we get motivated for creating more of them. So do it for yourself, and as a byproduct we get help. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you again.